Hey guys, so Sam here. So there's this plant, and it's not a plant that you find in your backyard, and it's currently illegal in most places in the world. And of course, I'm talking about marijuana or weed. That's what it's also called. And according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, about 32.5 million North Americans use the drug on a regular basis. And if so many people use it, why is it illegal? That's mainly what I'm trying to talk about, and that's what I'm talking about today is that the effects it has on our bodies and our minds, just basically the bare basics of the drug, and also mention some of the few states that are currently legal and how their lifestyles have changed since the law change. So marijuana has many effects on our bodies and minds. While being used, it can temporarily alter our brain and body functions. A main aspect of this is when the brain releases the chemical known as dopamine, which kind of puts off a more of a euphoric, positive mindset, and also comes along with physical relaxation, which can eventually provoke addiction. Another big component of that is having slower reactions from your physical and mental state. For example, while you're driving and you notice that your hand-eye coordination is much more delayed than usual, it's a pretty prime example right there, and it can cause accidents and whatnot. So it's just better not to do that. And on the contrary, after doing some research from Amanda Chan on Live Science, actually mentioned that the main component in marijuana, THC, is actually used to help cancer patients who lost their appetites due to excessive treatments be able to eat again and be able to experience an increased appetite, which also can come from people who are just regular using the drug without or aren't cancer patients, that will experience basically munchies, is what it's called. And after you come down from using the drug, you'll start to feel like you're being back to normal, but the more you use it, the more you'll know that these effects are more permanent. So, excess marijuana use can change your brain chemistry over time, and like anything else, it can be very addictive and dependent on, just like I mentioned earlier. And it's actually been shown to be able to, unfortunately, block out memory loss and can, in adulthood, after it's been used in adolescence as a more of an excessive state. For example, if you use it as like a 14-year-old and very frequently, and you'll start to notice when you're about 20, 25, that you're starting to have issues with short-term and long-term memory. And also from WebMD, from a guy named Daniel J. D. Noon, he mentioned that marijuana has actually been proven to slow the development of Alzheimer's disease, which is ironic, saying that it actually blocks out memory, so it could be a potential positive there. And as there seems to be both negatives and positives of the plant, and everyone in the United States is divided on the issue, some states think differently than others. And that's why the legislation is up to the states and able to enforce their own laws. So out of the 50, there's currently 4 and 1 district that currently have full recreational use legalized. Those are Oregon, Colorado, Washington, Alaska, and Washington, D.C. And right here, I have a little map that shows which states are legal and which states are not. And you can see the red ones are the ones that have complete illegal substance abuse. So Utah right here, where we are, obviously, it's completely illegal in the state, so you're not able to purchase it or use it for medical use. Colorado, for example, one of the more recent ones, you're able to just go to a store that sells marijuana and be able to just pick it up for a price as long as you're 21 years old. And then California, my home state, is another example of one that does not have recreational use legalized, but if you go to a doctor and have a medical condition that could be looked at and you're able to get prescribed from your doctor to be able to use marijuana in the future, you're able to go that route. So many people want to just live in Colorado to call it even and have marijuana legal for them, but others just don't want the rest of the states to make it legal. And really only time will tell what happens with 2 differing sides to this issue. And really the future for marijuana legalization is just a big question mark. I mean, all the factors really depend on more studies on the long-term, short-term effects, and how it affects our everyday life. And just compared to how the current states have been doing with the legalization, and just more statistics as years have gone on to make sure that there's no open ends and to be able to see that there's consistent data. So, I mean, it's a very hot topic in our country right now, and just only time will tell to see if it's a good decision for the United States to legalize it.